Hi there, I'm Patrick George from Jalopnik. Behind the camera is Raphael Orlov from Jalopnik. Say hi, Raph.
Hi.
And we are driving this 1970 BMW 2500 across the country from Seattle to New York. The reason we are driving it from one end of the continent to the other is because this car was previously owned by our good friend Sam Smith, formerly of Jalopnik, currently of Road and Track, and then it was purchased by my old friend who lives in the East Coast named Clay. Clay bought the car. Didn't really have a way of getting it home right now. So this is our wonderful Chariot. Why don't we take you around and show you all that it can do. We've decided that these E3s, the new 6 cars as they're called, hugely underrated. Everybody talks about 2002s. When you talk about vintage BMWs and like the 80s stuff, the E30s, whatever, these are really fantastic. I don't think they sold in huge numbers in the United States when they were new in the 70s. So they're definitely a lot more rare than like a W123 Mercedes would be from that era, or really any other Mercedes sedan. Size-wise, it's bigger, wider, longer, with a longer wheelbase than even an 80s 5 Series would be. It doesn't really have a modern equivalent. It's sort of between like what a 5 and a 7 Series would be today. But it's still small enough that it's like super maneuverable and easy to drive. Remember, in 1970, this would have been a small car in American roads. But it's big enough that it's crazy comfortable inside with tons of room. I'm going to show you that right now. First thing you notice, this lovely wood vinyling on the doors here. The doors are in really great shape. Roll down windows, metal chrome. You got this little holder thing right there. That's lovely.
It frightens me to open that.
Yeah, you've got one.
It's gonna break at all times.
You've got one side mirror.
Oh yeah.
On the driver's side, you don't need any more than that, really. You know. Moving on to the rest of the inside, we've got this huge steering wheel. It's no power steering, of course, because you don't need that. Super easy to just drive with this thing on the highway. You just kind of keep one finger on it, and it'll just cruise all day. So the fun thing about this thing also is here's your gauge cluster right here. BMW they bothered to translate like some of this shit into English, and then a bunch of it not. They were just like screw it. So you've got like Ladung, that's like charging, so your alternator. Oil, I don't know how it's pronounced, but it's oil obviously. Fernlight.
Fern-L ist Fernlicht, das heißt Lichter, die gegen Fern. Blinker, ja verstanden. Tank, das heißt tanken, für wenn man in Amerika mit großen Panzerwagen reingehen wollen. Und Bremsen, das ist was passiert später, wenn die Panzer
it's gonna be
Amerika kommen sind.
It's gonna be great video for Jalopnik Motor und Sport. The Speedo, the needle broke yesterday on day 2 of driving. The needle just popped off. Temperature gauge is like reliable-ish. We're told to just kind of not really put too much faith in it. The good news is that like it's been really cool in this drive. We're doing it in fall, so overheating thankfully has not been an issue so far. The fuel gauge really doesn't do anything. It's always full all the time until you need to get gas, and then it starts dropping down. So we've mostly just been filling up on math. And then there's the tachometer, and that I'm happy to report works great. This clock also does not work. I tried setting it the other day. And it doesn't, I'm sorry to say. The car has no radio anymore, so our friend Clay made this electrical box that has USB ports.
It looks super not sketch at all, too. Just some random boxes with wires coming out of it.
Yeah, I was like, for a while, I was like, is this thing gonna overheat and catch fire? But so far, so good. It hasn't.
Yeah,
it's
right.
cool. Yes, like, in the inside, you're definitely kind of torn up a little bit. Like, the headliners looks bad. The seats, I should put these out early. They're from some like more modern Acura, like a Legend or whatever there, but they're really comfortable. They're nicely bolstered. Like, I'm super glad they're here. She's not much to look at on the inside, but she works.
So you say, look at
Yeah.
this nice material, which is only greatly faded right in this area.
It's fine, We also had a hell of a time figuring out how to open the hood, which is like a really basic thing that you need to do for any car, especially a car of this vintage.
Yeah,
I'll show you.
Have to come around.
Yeah. There you go. Then you jostle it loose, and then inside is this lever that pushes up your hood. So let's go take a look at the heart of this beast. I mean, this should look immediately familiar to any BMW owner. I know it did to me as someone who used to drive an E30. I love old cars. Like, it's all pretty straightforward. Valve cover, spark plugs, air cleaner right there, it's condenser, coolant's over there. Oil reservoirs there. It's been kicking up a little bit of fresh oil right there. Just a little bit, so we're sort of keeping an eye on that, but I'm not super worried about it. Battery, I mean, and that's really it. You know, it's naturally aspirated, 2.5 liter, about 150 horsepower when it was new. Drives great.
Patrick, look at you lying to the audience like this.
Are you
Terrible.
Are you saying it's bad? You've been driving it.
Look
We love
at
this car.
Look
It's
at this.
great.
You're saying he's saying this car is so simple, and it's just you just get it, you turn the key, and you drive it. This is observe. Here's a battery. This is not a factory 1970 BMW dongle, nor is this duct tape, nor is this weird mysterious line with
Sure, it's old. It's been Frankensteined a few times. Like that's what happens at old cars. We never said it was some pristine show car, some garage queen. It's like the furthest thing from that, but it works, gets the job done. It's tough.
Totally.
It's built to last. Want to show them the trunk?
Yeah, let's check this out.
Little secret, I'm not telling anybody. That trunk does not lock, and I've just been sort of hoping that no one knows that but us. Yeah, it's got a huge trunk. Look at this. It's very spacious back here. And we prepared for this as best as we possibly could. Our friend, the new owner, he sent us this handy bag of tools. We got shop towels, got coolant, got like several jugs of 10W40, bunch of spare parts back here, belts, zip ties, duct tape.
Almost everything we needed.
We've got a spare water pump, we've got a fire extinguisher, Russian English dictionary, gallon of holy water, shurikens, copy of Mother on Blu-ray, some sausages, enough ketchup to live off of for a month, cyanide pills in case we need to take our own lives. That's about it. That's our car. That's our road trip chariot. We filled up that earlier, so why don't we just head down to Main Street?
Miles City.
Beautiful Miles City, Montana.
Miles City. Lots of old cars around.
Sorry. Bison Bar. Montana. We have Montana Bar and the Bison.
Oh, God damn, all this neon is so good. I'm losing my mind. Ah.